coming to you raspy and sexy. You know what I mean? The big boys are alive and kicking. Dick straight, saluting the world. Heavy mustaches, but even heavier traps and ball sacks.
The only show on the internet we're gonna get mustaches compared to traps, but here at Funny
Traps
But Foul,
and ball sacks, bro. Don't forget the fucking ball sacks.
here at Funny But Foul, we
Yes.
do all those comparisons.
All of them. Every single one. I mean, dude, if Hector had to have a fucking trap and a fucking ball sack that matched that mustache, bro, this guy would be fucking disabled, okay? Because he would have the fattest neck in the world. Plus, he would have sacks that are so fucking big. They're 2 days behind in calendar time, baby. Speaking of what's going on, dude.
What?
We just ran through what happened, but let's run it through one more time, man. There's a pandemic going on, and we got a quick introduction with our Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil calling in.
Dr. Evil calling in. What's up, daddy, dude? Dr. Evil. What's going on, bud? Oh shit, dude. Cause dude, we gotta run away from CSI and fucking CIBC and fucking all that shit.
What's going on, man?
What's popping, bud?
I just sat down to eat, not much.
Yeah.
Sound okay?
Yeah, you sound fucking crisp, man. You look like you're making some pharmaceuticals in your fucking lair, dude. What's going on? Dude.
Oh, I'm eating in my car.
Oh,
maybe
shit.
one of those drop-offs, maybe.
Drop-offs. This is what happens, man. You want to make some fucking pharmaceuticals to change the world, you got to drop off once in a while. You got to suck a dick or two. You know, you got to be in the car eating broccoli and rice sometimes, you know? It's all good. Dude, I was going to talk to you about getting on Adderall full time. What do you know about that shit? Stimulants. I'm looking for some things, possibly some PEDs for my
Brain PEDs.
yeah, brain PEDs, man. Give me some tips and hinters or what? What's going on?
PEDs?
Yeah, performance enhancing drugs for my brain, bro.
I don't know. What are the side effects typically with Adderall? Do you know the list?
Well, I actually been on it. Adderall side effects are like increased heartbeat, can't sleep, profuse sweating,
all things that already
irregular
happen to you
heartbeats.
anyways.
These are things that like I go through on a daily basis.
So what's a bit more?
So I mean,
Yeah, anything long-term, like any sort of long-term internal damage to organs, something like that.
yeah, but like you don't think like I could become a genius or some shit? You know, couple puffs, you know, couple snorts here and there.
You probably
Drink coffee, man. You don't need Adderall.
Coffee, I don't know, man. Dude, I fucking drink coffee and go to sleep, bro. That's the kind of motherfucker I am. I've had Red Bull and passed out. I don't know. I don't think that
I'd
shit.
be wary about taking anything long-term like that. You know, you're better off. I think you're gonna do less damage to your system if you took a hard drug once than if you expose yourself on a daily basis to something.
This is
You're-
true. Even
maybe
microdosing, huh?
Microdosing.
Like
I don't know much about that either.
Dude,
Listen, you know I know about like pharmaceuticals and stuff, but not much of that is like illicit narcotics.
no, I know, but like, listen, man, me and you have we have a shared fantasy of pipe dreams. You know what I'm saying? We've been down that road. I got a quick question for you, man.
Yeah.
What do you think of? Are you still on statins for your heart?
I was on a couple of different things. They kind of cycled me through.
Okay,
See what worked well.
what have you been on long term for that? Irregular heartbeat, right?
Honestly, I don't really take it anymore, which is not at their recommendation. At some point, I just stopped. Especially since one of them was like a diuretic.
Oh, so you just drained you, huh?
Yeah, because I don't really have symptoms anywhere. So you take this, and now you have symptoms as a side effect of your medication.
I don't know if you know this guy, More Plates, More Dates,
probably not.
but
you sent me it. I thought it was fucking retarded. But,
yeah.
Which one did you send him?
Dr. Evil. I sent him this one with him, this guy named Louis.
Is it where they had like the 3-panel or whatever?
Yeah, he's 3 panels called the Bio Bros, and they were telling out like they were legit pointing out like studies, and I actually looked. I didn't look at all the studies because it was like in like a like a 30-minute span, they had like 50 studies you need to
What
look
was the
into.
subject? Like, what were they talking
Basically, it's just PEDs,
Oh.
using PEDs properly, and there's like just not only one type of PED. Like Dr. Evil was on like beta blockers. There's like ways to alter the side effects of getting bad LDL from steroids by using beta blockers long term. And these guys are like in their 40s. Like the Steve, this guy, he's like 47 years old. Perfect fucking blood panel. And it's redonkulous because he's on grams of gear. And then
Right.
there's like buddies that I know that have dropped and like fainted from like doing like 500 milligrams. And I'm like, how the fuck is this guy on like 2 grams of sauce? My buddy. So I was asking fucking Dr. Evil over here. But yeah, man, I think my mom's on fucking beta blockers, and dude, it's fucking helped her out big time. Like she's got better fucking
Yeah, she's not taking like performance enhancing steroids and using beta blockers to mitigate damage.
that's
Totally different.
that's
These are
also
just,
true.
like, older people that have, you know, your heart ages and so blood pressure goes up, and you have to take these.
This is true.
There might be other, like, yeah, I don't know. You ask me about this steroid stuff sometimes, and I'm always like pretty skeptical.
It is. You obviously have skeptical hippo eyes because you're one of those guys that, you know, we used
What's
to
the
live.
point of even taking that shit anyway?
What,
Just
roids?
to be bigger, like aesthetically
Roids?
bigger.
No,
Yeah.
no. It gives you a motivational fucking purpose more than you think. Like I think this is like, okay, listen,
Getting philosophical with steroids.
No.
Only on Funny But Foul.
exactly.
Only here.
Listen, all I got to tell you guys, okay, is that you guys known me for like 10, 12 years. I feel when I was on Sazools, I felt like I have actually achieved. Like I could actually point out the months that I was on, and I could say, okay, well, I like study-wise, work-wise, friendship-wise, I succeeded much more on just like a statistical basis than when I was like just doing nothing. Like, you know, when I like stop dealing drugs. That was one of the things like I kind of figured out while I was on Sazools. I was like, dude, I need to stop, or like stop smoking weed. Like I kind of like understood that I have to stop. Otherwise, like I can't really do anything that good with my life if I consistently smoke weed every fucking day. It was like a reaction that my brain had with all the hormones and shit. And it's like the recovery.
It gives you like a higher drive,
Hell yeah. Like
energy from taking this.
maybe dude, I could even say with no lie, I could say maybe threefold. Maybe 2 to 3-fold more drive, and I'm pretty driven.
You were also like 19. I mean, I already feel different from back then.
No, for sure, but
Except
even
for, like,
now,
3 a.m.
like
and
even
shit.
as of recent, I can tell you that like within the last 5 years, 3 years ago, I was on like a little cycle, like a little fucking tiny cycle, like a TRT cycle, where like dudes take it when they're 50, and I did that, and I felt fucking amazing. I felt like I could do anything. I was so positive. I was so happy. And I'm like the most unhappy, evil villain type of motherfucker ever. And I felt super happy. I was like helping. Dude, one time I remember this guy
It was
dropped
like
his
an
wallet.
antidepressant kind of thing almost.
Yeah, I picked up his fucking wallet and I fucking gave it to him.
Is
Dude,
that
back in
supposed
the-
to be like special?
Hell yeah, dude. Back in the day, I would just post his information. Just out of principle. I would just post his information. Just out of principle. I wouldn't even take his money. I would just fucking chuck it in the garbage can. I would just post his principle. But like, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's these things that help me out. I don't know. Like Hector, don't you find that like with stem chocolates that you actually do?
That's different though, because as we're not comparing like a psychedelic with PEDs, and PEDs aren't psychedelics, right? So
That's true, but
there are people looking.
everybody's
into,
a little bit different, I think, when it comes to like motivation and drive
It's
and
true,
focus.
but I guess I don't know. I guess
Might
I'm
be a big trade-off there that you don't see long term. That's kind of the main concern. I'm not saying anything bad about this sort of sensation that you have in taking these and having a higher sense, like drive and energy. That sounds great, but like if you do irreparable damage to your heart, that in 20 years is going to be like, you know, potentially lethal, or 30 years. You don't know.
You don't know.
I'm not saying that for the sake of being, I don't know, panicked.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard, you are susceptible to like cardiovascular damage by
Absolutely.
taking steroids long term.
Absolutely. That's
There
why
is
that's
some
why you're told
stigma.
to like cycle. That's why you're told to like, use use not beta alanine, but beta blockers and statins and stuff because
Yeah, but like you're introducing
you're going
more and more
multiple
variables.
layers.
I mean, you want to be like removing things, not adding them.
No, what I usually do is this. This is what I usually do, and it might not
And
be
just
healthy.
because you might be able to like perfect this blood panel,
Right.
but that's not necessarily that doesn't definitively say that you have like a healthy heart.
This is also true. I've heard somewhere that statins actually help you decrease the size of your heart. Let's say somebody's taking steroids long term, smoking long term, has some type of inflammation that makes their heart grow due to inflammation and blockage. I've heard that statins actually decrease this over time. Have you heard anything about this?
No, I mean I don't follow any of this stuff.
Yeah, it was actually interesting because my mom, she decreased her heart size in the last 6 years, which is actually interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, she is like fucking 200 pounds, dude. I mean, you've seen her, dude. She hasn't changed since 12 years ago. She's literally the same weight, same size. Yeah, she's...
People, like, regardless of your size, people have generally the same size heart. Like, you can be a 5'1" Filipino woman and 6'5".
Really? Because I've heard, like, your
The
heart's
organ
supposed
is
to be the size of your
relatively the
fist,
same
no?
size.
Is that all bullshit?
Well, I mean,
Might be.
the size of a fist can vary, right, between those two descriptions I just gave.
Yeah,
but
small
it's
Filipino
roughly
woman and
about the
Hector
same.
is about the same, though.
Motherfucker.
Bleep. I want to talk to you about something very, very serious, man. In this pandemic, we've all been, skewed and punished, and our regular lives
It
have.
hasn't been that bad yet.
I'm like, in all honesty, it's about
Dr. Evil
Not that bad for
has made some gains and leaps over these times, but all I got to tell you is, man, are you still getting the puss, or what's going on? Have you just put a stop to it?
I
Because
thought you were gonna ask me questions about like pharmaceuticals and.
no, I know, but this is also something interesting because you're a very motivated person. And for you to, for any guy our age to be able to just put that aside and just focus on, work and school and shit like that is actually interesting. Is there like something you do, or do you just fucking just put it aside? You're like, I'm not going to do this. I'm just not going to deal with it. I'm just going to focus on something else right now.
I don't know. I lost a lot of patience in some ways. I think that was just like by virtue of getting older.
God damn it, Vic. You got to show me this stuff.
Stuff you put up with before, now it's like, I don't know, is this shit really worth it?
Yeah. I hear you, man. Good hearing from you. Thanks for calling in. We'll hear from you later on in life, bro.
All right.
All right, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Take care.
Peace. Slickest.
Our boy Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil, otherwise known as the sickest savage that I've known.
Slickest evil. Side note, I figured out how to fix our problems with this fucking thing.
What is it?
With that, you know
Yeah.
how you always want to turn, it never works.
Yeah,
You just unscrew this,
and then screw
and
it
then,
right.
and then you can move, and then you can move this, and then you screw it back.
Okay, but that you have to line up the thread on that one. Smarty
No,
pants.
because this is what threads onto that.
I know that, but you still have to
No,
line that
because
up.
this is independent of.
I know that, but you still have to thread it until it finishes the thread.
I'll
No?
show it to you right here on this one.
Okay, go ahead. This is terrible. This is like BDSM.
Can you hear this?
This
It's
is
like ASMR.
terrible. Line up my balls. Line up my balls.
There you go.
Jesus, that was terrible. Okay, going on to our next fucking thing, man.
Well, we gotta do our weekly sports update, man.
Weekly fucking sports, bitch.
Holy fuck, NBA, man, this whole fucking week.
NB fucking A.
We just got off Game 7 right now.
Where's the
Bucks and
cigaretos?
Outside.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, keep going.
We
Bucks
just-
and Nets.
Bucks Nets game fucking 7.
Game 7. That was sad.
Durant and Giannis had savage fucking games. They
Savage.
post. Can you pull up the stats for the stat line on the? Go to the stats. Yeah, I think Giannis had like. Oh, this is lame. I go back to games. You have to click on the game itself. I have to go back. Yeah.
This is terrible
Go
website.
back. NBA, yeah, back. Right there.
Dude, nothing's going back, bro.
You know, I'm just gonna pull up on my phone.
Oh,
I just want to
there
pull
we
up.
go.
Okay, yeah. Oh no.
There we go. Here we go. Right here. Boom.
Click on the actual.
Stats.
Oh no, go back. You want to
Holy fuck, man.
click on the actual game. There you go.
Fucking
There you
fuck.
go. Okay, 40 points for Giannis,
40 points for Giannis.
and then look at Durant. I think he had like 45. Go to Nets, right? You just had it right there on the left. Yeah,
Nets. There we go.
48 for my boy Durant.
Okay, but let's read the rest of that stat line. Harden, suck my dick with those 22.
He's playing on one leg.
Yeah, you could also play on your knees.
One leg.
Bruce Brown Jr. had 14. I don't know who the fuck this guy is,
He's
but he played.
he's a Kyrie replacement.
He played 52 fucking minutes. What a savage. Blake Griffin, 17 points. Take your ass back to Clippers. Joe Harris, just sit on the bench, bro. 47 minutes, 10 points, please.
Durant carried that team.
Definitely carried it, and he also carried that fucking terrible hairline all throughout the game. I don't know how he fucking does it, but I just wouldn't be able to focus on anything if my hairline was that terrible.
That's the difference. That's the difference between you and Kevin Durant. That's why you never made it to the NBA. You're too focused on your hairline.
It's not because
if you took all that mental energy that you put on your hairline
Yeah.
and just put it towards like ball, maybe you wouldn't have decided to quit ball in grade 9 when you saw Brandon Jennings.
Okay, but also when I was realizing that I had a perfect set of hairline, and I realized it because I was like, I cannot do what that guy does right now. So it's like, why am I doing this? Why the fuck am I wasting my time?
So then maybe if you stop focusing on your hairline, you can get to like an NBA caliber player in some other kind of field.
Okay, but it doesn't fucking matter. Even if you're in the NBA, you're bald as shit. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. He's
Why?
a fucking
He's a millionaire, but he's still
tens
bald.
on tens of millionaires.
Oh man,
You
I don't know.
I'm guessing. I think it. I actually no. This is like my own personal theory, I guess. But I think the reason why these guys don't fix their hairlines and all this shit, because most of the time with the traditional hair transplants, you got to take drugs along with it. It's probably not in their interest to do so when they're actually like prime of their playing career, and they don't want to fuck up anything. Like everything has to be like. I know LeBron's got plugs.
I think
but
these
he's
guys
also
are
let it go.
controlled. Hold on. I think these guys are controlled.
What do you mean?
Well, when you have a team, you basically own the player.
Oh no, 100. Yeah. Oh,
So it's like there's certain things they can't do. They have curfews.
Although like kind of not, because like Harden's going to like every strip club in America.
Okay,
so, like,
but James Harden is James Harden. What I'm saying is like, in like soccer and Premier League and stuff, some of these guys have like brutal contracts because they're not right before they make it. I'm not talking about the top tier guys. They're untouchable.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about guys who just are about to make it.
yeah.
They sign these, especially if they don't have like a good corner. Like, you know, they don't
Good
have like
agents and all
good
that stuff.
guys
Yeah,
on
yeah,
their side
yeah.
or strong guys on their side.
Yeah.
These teams will make them like sign these redonkulous contracts.
No, it's true. And in soccer, it's even worse because these guys sign contracts from like the age of 14, like a youth contract.
Yeah.
They sign with these teams. Like if you play for like Manchester United Academy, you're gonna sign a contract with them 1 year in the academy.
I remember going to high school with this kid in Killarney, and he went to the. I'm not sure if he's still in the MLB, but I know that he went in the MLB.
MLB baseball?
Yeah.
Shit.
And he went from like I guess it was
Like he actually made it to the MLB.
yeah, he
That's
actually
crazy.
made it to the Red Sox.
That's crazy because like
So hold on, let me just
Yeah.
say this. So he went from like the D League to
Yeah,
the
I know.
majors,
Yeah, yeah.
but he was still on his D League contract. So he's sitting on locker room and he's making like 60 grand, and then like a guy walks in that he's got like a 6-year, $100 million contract.
yeah.
And they're in the same fucking locker room.
Yeah. Was the guy playing? When you say D League, you mean like was he playing AAA?
Like it was one tier down. It was a
One
tier
tier
that
down
they
of-
let's say somebody gets a injury in
One
MLB.
tier down of MLB. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's AAA,
So one tier down from
which is super fucking high though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
no,
super,
this
super
guy.
high.
Listen, this guy
crazy.
was 6'3".
Yeah.
He had a 6'8" wingspan, and he was
Is he a pitcher?
he was a pitcher,
That's crazy.
and he had I think he had a 2.83 bat swing, which is actually like that sounds
okay.
like terrible. But
No, it's okay for a
it's
pitcher.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
It's pretty for a guy that's like 200 pounds at $180, $190 at 6'3". Like he doesn't have much mass on him even
Yeah, yeah.
now. He's
Yeah.
like 30 now.
Yeah.
He doesn't have much mass on him. So
That's
it's like
crazy.
So for that guy to have that, it's like redonkulous. Anyway, back to Nets. We thought Nets are gonna fucking
I
make
thought
it.
I had the Nets. To be fair though, they basically played with one player for the last 4 games and a bit, because at first Harden was out, playing on one. He tore his hamstring in game 1, basically. Re-injured it because that was the same injury that took him out for like the half of the season leading up to the playoffs. So then it was just Kyrie and Durant, and they actually did well. I think at a certain point it got down to like, I think it was in the fourth game that Kyrie fucking basically broke his ankle. Do you see that shit when he landed?
Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous.
Holy fuck.
But I understand because, like, I mean, karma's a bitch, man. Uncle Drew, when you're breaking ankles, you're gonna get broken into. God's gonna break in.
And so he was out. So it was just literally Durant for a couple of games. And then I'm guessing the Nets management realized, as great as Durant is, all-time great player, you know, he's healthy, he is also just 1.5 seasons removed from fucking tearing his Achilles tendon. If he re-aggravates it now, we're not just fucked for this playoffs, we're fucked for the remainder of his contract. You don't want to do that shit twice. Yeah. So they brought Harden back on for the last game, for game 6 and 7, but Harden's he's playing on a half a leg.
No, he's not.
So it's just trash. So it is basically just Durant.
Harden was playing like, you know how you go to a foreign country and you get like Nikes?
Yeah.
And then you realize they're like fake?
The swishes backwards?
Yeah, it swishes backwards. Yeah. Nike, it's like Nick.
Back when I was a kid, when I used to go down to Peru and visit my family, I remember I had obviously real shoes because I'm from here. And when I went down to visit, I'm a kid, I'm like 12, and I visit my cousin's school. And I was like, oh, yeah, those real Nikes? And I'm like, because I didn't know you couldn't have fake Nikes.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, of course they're real Nikes.
First world problems.
Yeah, right? I'm like,
spoiled brat.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, shit, because we heard like if like in a shoe you need to have at least 5 swooshes for it to be real. And so,
5 swooshes?
Yeah. So they started counting the swooshes on my shoe.
Fucking
and
Illuminati,
like,
bro.
You only have 3 though. Are you sure they're real? I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're real. They're like, oh.
The real ones.
Yeah.
Speaking of injuries and fake Jordans, I don't know if you noticed, but LeBron put out a tweet on.
Oh yeah. I saw about
how
he's like, I told you so.
Yeah,
basically.
I told you so. Basically,
fucking told you so. You all motherfuckers.
Listen,
do you think he's right?
Yeah, I mean, there's more All-Stars right now that have injuries than ever before.
I agree.
You don't have,
and especially within the same time span.
Yeah,
we're talking within like a 3-week span.
Yeah,
8 of like
keep going with this.
Eight of the All-Stars fucking went out. You had Chris Paul, who had a shoulder injury. You had Harden, who had his hamstring injury. Kyrie with some, and granted, some of these are like freak accidents. Like they're not just wear and tear things. Like the Irving thing. It didn't matter if you're kind of tired or not. That ankle injury is gonna fuck up anybody. He literally landed on Giannis's foot. But yeah, so Irving, Harden, CP3. You had Davis also went down. LeBron was kind of on like half a leg because he had his injury earlier in the season before the playoffs. And I'm trying to think of who else was getting injured. I think Butler was injured potentially. But you're talking about these top level players. These guys were like, as Armo was saying, all-star players. And within the span of literally 3 weeks from the playoffs when they started till now, dropping like flies one by one, which is absolutely fucked. And so the idea that these guys are going to play on a shorter rest in a pandemic,
hell no,
is fucked. And he warned them early on. He's like, guys, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think we should be coming back this soon. We should postpone this or whatever. But then all the execs were like, you can't postpone shit because, you know, all our sponsorship deals is all these fucking bullshit business reasons that they mentioned. But then LeBron's like, listen, that's all great. You guys have money to lose. But if you injure us, you don't have a product.
Yeah.
There's nothing to fucking sell if the players are gone. Absolutely. And sure enough, we're seeing that now in the playoffs where in the big 3 in the Nets, which was the most heavily bet on team this year to win it all, went from a big 3 to a big 1 in 3 games.
Big nothing, man.
Now it's big nothing. They just lost. But
yeah,
crazy.
I just think. Are you done?
Yeah, I was just trying to think of who else got injured, but I think.
Listen, when Kawhi went down, I was like, this
Kawhi,
logical motherfucker.
If
he's going down,
yeah,
dude, we're doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is not like, when he was with Popovich all those years, how many times did he get injured?
No, but hold on.
Ever.
He didn't, but then his basically career-altering injury happened when he was with Popovich. It was when he landed on, what's that motherfucker's?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he has a Euro name, but basically he put his foot under Kawhi when he landed, and that's when he fucked up his knee.
You think he did it on purpose?
Depends who you ask. Personally, I don't think it was on purpose. Like, I'm gonna injure this guy like for life. No, I don't know if you can go into that thinking that, but I think he wanted to like fuck him up with the series.
Yeah, I remember when Steve Nash got fucking elbowed to the face.
Dude, he probably only with one eye.
Yeah, and he stood up and told Ginobili, he's like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah,
That's when I knew he was a Canuck. I was like, "That's
For real.
That apologetic fucking dominance or demeanor
Yeah.
is like only in one place, literally.
Where
Like,
else are you gonna see that?
Yeah, where
for
else
sure.
are you gonna see that? What's your take on who's gonna win it? You say who? You saying?
I put money down on Phoenix
How
for
much
a couple
did you
reasons. $100 total.
Where?
Where to what? What do you mean?
Where did you put
Don't
money?
worry about that.
Oh.
50 to win the conference finals, and then 50 to win the whole thing. So as long as they win the conference finals, I'm covered for what.
So it's a parlay.
Yeah, basically. But it's they're independent. Like I don't have to win both.
Welcome
you know what
to
I mean?
my world, buddy.
It's I think it was like 2.6 I think to win the finals.
Did
the
they
conference
give you
finals.
any points?
And then sorry, what do you mean points?
Like, did they give you any dubs?
No, I don't need that.
Okay.
So yeah, exactly. It's just straight up, just win the finals. I'm not going too specific on this bet, but as long as they win the conference finals.
Well, if they gave you dubs, it'd be more beneficial for you. You know what I mean? Like if they give you like let's say 10 points, it'd be more beneficial. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you lose, you win.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying I placed two. I didn't actually parlay it. I did two separate bets.
Separate bets.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's why. So the to win the finals, because you know when I placed this bet,
When?
I placed it before the second round started.
Wow.
Yeah,
Look at this
yeah.
mind
Yeah,
teller, bro.
Yeah. I just felt that they were a dark horse because they beat the Lakers without CP3.
Wow. Yeah.
So
They
then
did.
I knew that injury was going to be a short term one because I think when he went down, it was a shoulder like contusion kind of thing. It wasn't that bad.
But let's be honest, Lakers were not really Lakers. Like Anthony Davis was
It's
in
true.
and out.
Yeah.
LeBron had an injury. Like who did they have after that? Nobody.
Those are their two.
That's
Those are their
it,
big
right?
two,
Yeah,
right?
so there you go.
But really, without CP3, there's that's him and Booker. They're big two, and Booker's not really a big. He's just more of like a really. I don't know. He can maybe get there in a few years, but I don't consider him like a big. Like he's not at the. He's not
Yeah.
even at the. I don't even consider him at the Damian Lillard level. Like definitely Lillard's over Booker in my opinion. As good as Booker is, because he'll drop 40 on you or 50 on you on a good night, he's not the level of game changer that like Lillard would be, for example.
Well, one thing is Lillard is an actual point guard. He's a
that too,
scoring
yeah,
point
true.
guard.
Yeah,
Lillard-
Dransberg's just a shooting guard.
What's his name?
Booker.
Sorry, Booker is a
Shooting guard.
Shooting guard, but he's very small for that position.
He's not
Actually.
that small, but he's kind of.
No,
he's like
he is small.
6'5", I think 6'4".
No, he's six. He's six. Well, he's really 6'3", but he's listed as 6'4".
Yeah.
But that's a small shooting guard. You got shooting guards that are 6'9".
True.
So that is thing. And then Booker is not like he's a pivot shooter. He's a catch and shoot guy. He's not really like
He can shoot off the dribble though.
He can shoot off the dribble,
sure
but
he
he's
can.
not gonna take the ball up. He's not your ball handler. You don't want
No.
the ball in
I
his
mean,
hands.
like, there's nobody
And,
in
like,
this league
yeah.
who will displace Chris Paul as a ball handler. Nobody is gonna take that from him. Like, if Chris Paul's on your team, he is bringing the ball up, no question. Nobody in this league can take it from him.
That's for sure. Okay,
Right?
That's,
So, like-
that's
But I
aside
get
my
what
point.
you're saying, 'cause even
I'm
if it
just
wa-
saying him individually.
Yeah, sure.
He's not gonna bring up the ball. Whether with Chris Paul, without Chris
Yeah.
Paul, he's not gonna bring up the ball.
So, anyways-
Lillard is a fucking clutch.
Oh,
as
no.
fuck. Lillard will literally ice your girl's pussy, make her come, then go shoot a fucking buzzer beater, bro. That's the kind of guy he is.
Oh, I know. Lillard's on a different level, but my point is, I don't consider Booker like a big. Like, if we're saying like Phoenix,
When did Booker come to the league?
2012,
Okay, so we haven't really heard about him since.
we have, but it's just been on like one of the worst teams in the NBA for like the last how many fucking years?
True, but like he's not
Like
like
no supporting cast.
He's not like okay, like how can I explain this? There's guys that highlight the team. Like for example, Anthony Davis when he was in
Yeah, true.
the Hornets.
Yeah,
The Hornets was based on him.
yeah.
Booker when he's been on Phoenix for so long with no supporting cast, he's not like an actual. You can make the argument he's a franchise player, but not to a strong degree. He's not like they're not basing around him. Like they're not like trading pawns to get something to build around him.
Well, they were.
But you
I
can't.
know what you're saying. Not to the level of like a Giannis.
This
or
is the
like,
thing.
Or like you mentioned Davis.
The thing
But
is
they
like
still did.
true. But what I'm saying is this: when you have a guy that is comfortable with handling the ball, that's when you have a franchise player. This is why. Like look at Lowry, right, in Raptors.
Mm.
Before Kawhi came over, they gave him.
He had DeRozan.
He had DeRozan, and then they traded DeRozan,
Yeah.
and then got Kawhi. So because they could both handle the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and you have two opportunities. LeBron, how you make him a franchise player? Get a bunch of 3-point shooters. Fucking what Cleveland tried to do the last year that they won.
Mm-hmm.
They just got a bunch of 3-point shooters, just covered him up. So when he drives and they double team him, he just passes out. That's how I do it. But with them, they had to get an actual guy to facilitate him with the ball.
Yes.
Which is he's now you could say the best player on that team is CP3.
Oh,
because
100%,
without him, that
100%.
team wouldn't even happen.
But that's the thing. So I understand that the Lakers were like not the Lakers, especially near the end of that series. But regardless, even like a half-strength Laker is still legit. So for the Phoenix as a team to beat the Lakers, and I was like, okay, CP3 is going to come back next series for sure. I'm like, I'm gonna place money on the Phoenix. I'm not saying they're gonna win for sure, but I'm like, it's a good bet because the odds are so skewed that it makes it a good bet. Like in reality, instead of an 8-1, I think it should be like closer to like a 6-1. And so I was like, for that reason, I put money down. As soon as CP3 came back, they sweep the Nuggets 4-0.
Absolutely sweep the Nuggets.
We'll see what happens now because now we got the Clippers and Phoenix in the finals, right? Because the Clippers took out
with no Kawhi,
boys.
I would say Phoenix and who do you think? 76ers and
I think Hawks take that.
Hawks take that?
Yeah.
I don't think Hawks have a chance against Giannis.
I think that there's gonna be some interesting games there. They'll take a couple from them, but I don't think they're gonna take 4 games.
No, and then Giannis,
the Bucks.
Bucks, Phoenix. Who do you got?
Bucks. That's an interesting one. I obviously I put money down on Phoenix. I have to say Phoenix. How realistic? If someone had a gun to my head and they're like, "All right, motherfucker, how much do you actually believe in this, or were you just putting the money down because you wanted to make a buck?"
If they were putting a gun to your head, if they were putting the most important thing on the line, okay, and I'm gonna paint you a fucking picture.
Okay, sure.
They're pointing the gun.
Yeah.
But they're pointing it slightly south
dude.
to the mustache, and they're saying,
"Oh no,
hey, listen,
not the mustache!
Listen,
Hey, whoa!
You fucking pick, or we're gonna shave this. And if you lose, we're gonna shave it anyway. And every morning you wake up, we're gonna put a gun against your head, and we're gonna make you shave that fucking thing. What do you fucking say?
I gotta pick the Bucks.
You gotta pick the fucking Bucks, bro.
But do I think Phoenix actually has kind of a chance? I do. It's not like if they played 100 times.
Yeah.
I don't think obviously they're gonna win. If they played 100 times, I give Phoenix like 20 of those times.
Listen, CP3 has to. This is how I believe they have to win. He has to take a fucking balloon out of his ass and bring back Magic Johnson and Jordan and all these guys
for
to do
like
that.
2 games in the Nuggets series. Fucking crazy. He dropped his career high, almost like 37 points.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do that, man.
Never does
He
that.
never does. He's
It's
a
so
20.
hard being a fucking
He's a 20 guy, right?
5'11" guy in the NBA.
Well, he's
where
like
there's
6'2", 6'3", but okay.
Chris Paul is not 6'2".
Is he not? What is he?
I will literally
He's not
shit on you.
5'11". No.
He's closer to 5'11" than 6'2". I guarantee you.
That's 3
And
inches
this,
apart.
Hold on. Anything we read on this
Yes.
is an inch down.
No.
Yes.
We're not doing that bullshit.
Yes.
We're not
This is
doing that
why.
bullshit.
This is why.
Not doing it.
I was in a summer camp with.
No, I understand.
Hold on. Let me explain this. I was in a summer camp with Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was called Drive 3D, and he came and he did like a thing. It was a bunch of other guys from South too.
Okay.
And we all took pictures of him and stuff. I'm 6. Steve Nash is literally, with all that hair, he's an inch taller than me.
Listen,
And he's listed as 6'3".
I'm not gonna get into that or not. I'm just saying we're going off the listed height. Fuck your whole like whether it's real or not shit. We're just gonna go off listed because that's what I go off of. So what do we got?
What does that read, bitch?
Fuck. 6 foot nothing.
Exactly. So that's closer to 5'11".
It is closer to
And
5'11".
I guarantee you he's probably 5'11". But anyway, my point is this guy is fucking 6 foot. That's like, there's very few guys.
He's a thick 6 foot though, which helps him.
He's 80 kilos.
No, but like when you look at him.
Yeah, I know, but
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
because everybody else is fucking stick thin.
Yeah, sure. But
Yeah.
but that's what we're talking about. I'm not talking like, bro,
Do you
I'm not
remember-
saying
do
he's
you
not gonna
remember-
fucking outlift
Do you remember
anybody.
Darren Williams?
Pull up I think I might
Dog!
sounds familiar.
Darren
Pull him up, pull him up.
motherfucking Williams. Bro, Darren Williams was the thickest, okay? One of the thickest point guards of all time.
Oh, he's like you know who else was thick?
Dog.
Fucking
This kid's huge.
the guy's still playing right now. He's thick.
And he's a big kid too, because he's 6'3". Darren Williams is 6'3", like 230 or something redonkulous. 6'3". What the fuck is his weight? 90 kilos.
That's legit.
He's a legit kid, and I guarantee you, he's probably really fucking. He is really fucking fit, man. I mean, you can't be not fit
sure.
and be in the fucking NBA and be a fucking all-star. And damn, he's got a pretty good-looking wife too. Shout out to Darren Williams, man. Doing all good. So bouncing from savages to other fucking savages, I just want to go towards UFC real quick.
Sure. What do you got?
I want to talk about.
Ooh, Cyril Gain.
Yeah, I want to talk. I
watch that one.
I want to
That's a
talk
good
about
one.
this. Cyril Gain versus Volkov.
Volkov.
Volkov has no chance. I seen Cyril go head to head, toe to toe at 70% with fucking Ngannou and make Ngannou look fucking tiny. He made Ngannou look tiny because
Who did?
Ngannou has no ground game, right?
Yeah.
Very little ground game. Cyril has a really good ground game for a heavyweight. He's actually
He's
very skilled.
What is he? Judoka? What is he?
No, he's just a straight jiu-jitsu guy.
Jiu-jitsu. Okay.
Yeah, but he's got like, okay, I'll tell you this. If I had to say who has more power,
Yeah.
it'd always be Ngannou.
Right.
But if I had to say who has more versatility as far as striking,
Gain?
it's Cyril Gain.
Interesting.
Because he
Even now.
actually
Even
now because he throws leg kicks.
Right.
He does
No,
elbows.
I like him. I like him a lot.
He does spinning elbows. He does uppercuts. He does 3-piece combos. How many times have we seen Ngannou do like 3-piece legit combo? Like
this last fight.
Okay, but I'm saying like cowboy style. Like
I'm saying-
Cerrone style. Not much.
No, I'm saying, but like literally never until the last fight.
Okay, but
That was
even
the
the
first time
last
I ever saw
fight,
that.
I've never ever seen him do a high kick. Ever.
Yeah, no need.
Cyril Gain does that shit.
That's the problem with that's the problem with being, and this kind of goes back to what you've talked about before. That's the problem with being too good at one thing, because then you start depending on that one thing to basically make it happen for you every time. Because why wouldn't you, right? Imagine if you knew you had nuclear power in one hand, literally like touch of death.
He's got it both though.
Why? No, I know, but I'm making a point. If you knew that you just had like a nuclear touch in one hand, that's all you needed in life. Why would you use anything else? You're wasting your time. Be like, what's the point of even like learning how to throw leg kicks, learning how to do that? If I know if I just land one right cross, the guy's dead. So that's the problem with being too skilled in one area, because then you start like going.
You're
crazy.
100% right, but this is the thing. In these training facilities, that's not the mentality that they go by.
Yeah, but then you watch them fight, and then you're like, okay,
That's because they're nervous. But if you
Guess.
if you look at guys that are actually developing,
Oh no, that's different. Yeah, I
Right?
understand. Yeah,
and like they're greats, like you see a guy like George St. Pierre, he's not a wrestler at all, and turns into a really good fucking wrestler. Like early career to mid career, he turns into a fucking legitimate fucking wrestler.
Yeah.
And this guy is a taekwondo fucking background.
yeah, I know.
That's like Steven Thompson turning into a fucking ground guy.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to you? Did you just get a dick up your ass, or what happened?
yeah.
You take some psychedelics? Like what'd you do, dude?
Did he not do any wrestling training prior? GSP?
GSP literally got into wrestling while he was doing mixed martial arts.
That's crazy.
Like he never
I
had a UFC.
I remember I heard he tried. I don't know if he actually went for it, but he was thinking about trying for the Olympic trials for Canada.
for wrestling.
Yeah. But I think his
Get outta
coaches were like, "Okay, bro, you're good.
Skedaddle.
But, like you're not that.
Yeah,
good.
you're not
Like,
that good.
That's like a special kind of good.
This is the thing. Transitioning from from UFC to wrestling, you're going to be in a deficit, just like Conor McGregor was in a deficit in boxing, and then you're also going to be dealing with problems like Mighty Mouse. Like, look at how Mighty Mouse got knocked out. He went to just a different league.
That
and
was-
because of a rule. He got knocked out.
I was just gonna say that I think that he just fucking forgot, because he's had
But dude,
thousands of hours training.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. That could that forgetfulness can
Oh, yeah,
happen
for
to
sure.
anybody if
Oh,
they're
yeah.
switching.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
remember Conor McGregor when he was fighting Mayweather?
Oh, for
he
sure.
was grabbing him, going around.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's
It's something that's ingrained in you from
Exactly.
like thousands of hours of
Exactly.
training in a sport. For
Speaking
sure.
of fucking McGregor, Dustin Poirier McGregor, July 10th.
Can't wait for that.
Suck my dick and call me shorty.
I can't wait for us to finally having our shit together now, because we know
Yeah.
for sure we're good, and it just like, oh,
And we got to get here on time, boy.
Well, we were last time.
No, I know. No, we weren't because we were actually late
last time we were fine. It's just the fucking live stream.
No, I know. But we were late as far as like I want to catch the entire main event.
Well, that's just new. You got to tell me, man. If you're good, then I'll be here.
Yeah. No, I think from now on we got to catch the one on those because there's only so many of those.
Yeah.
It's like literally 5 a year, and you got to
sometimes less, especially like if it's like a fight of the year kind of shit. You might only get those like once a year.
Exactly. Right? So we need to
imagine if we weren't doing this way back when, but imagine if we remember the Bisping GSP Garbrandt Dillashaw. Imagine if we were here to watch that entire thing, dude.
Dog, I think
3 championship knockouts back to back to back.
I think when we first did Pornoholics Anonymous, I think if we did that, for people who don't know, we had an older podcast right after I came out of prison because I had this new enlightenedness and I was like, let's make a podcast. And I just fucking drag these guys to SFU every fucking weekend. And we did a podcast. Me and this kid, one time we did a fucking podcast in front of a washroom.
In the fucking hallway.
Anyway.
That was some good content, actually. After we watched that one, that was actually a good one. It's just, you can hear the fucking toilet every 2 minutes. But it was good content we were talking about.
Dude, I think I was listening to it closely, and there was this one guy pushing, and he's like, oh. Jesus. And then he flushed, and I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. Dude, we literally stole a table from like a common
we dragged it across into the hallway.
I was like a hunter, and Hector was a gatherer. I was like, you stay here. I'm going to go get a table.
Hilarious.
Anyway, so Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, can he do it again? Or can Conor go back to the first instincts of knocking this guy out? I mean, he is Louisiana. He does have a barbecue sauce. He does have bigger balls now and possibly a bigger shaft. But is he Irish big? Can he take a couple gallons of whiskey and vodka to the head and do some shots and fuck a girl with no dick game problems?
I think Poirier showed us that he's comfortable in the ring with McGregor. And that's not something that everybody can say. Because regardless if you win or not with McGregor, he brings something to his fights that's almost like Tyson-esque.
Yeah.
Where he almost beats you before you get to the ring.
Absolutely.
And so I think what Poirier showed on this last one is that he actually has no problems getting into a ring with McGregor. And that's huge for fighters going up against him because that takes away the mental focus that you have on just coming across this guy and like whatever nerves you bring into the fight and all that stuff, and it allows you to actually fight your game. So if you win, great. If you lose, whatever, but at least you fought how you wanted to fight instead of someone, for example, like when Alvarez fought against McGregor. He had this whole game plan. He's like, oh, that's a rock back. We got a plan for that. All these things that he was saying. And the moment he got in the ring and actually was in front of McGregor, you could see in his eyes that he realized that he was in for a different fight. He was not in for what he trained for. But I think Poirier's actually got that, which I think actually is huge. Because I think that'll take him a long way in whatever. Even if we were to fight him 4 more times.
Yeah.
The fact that he's kind of got that, he's like comfortable being in there with him is, I think, huge for him.
Listen, all I can say about Poirier is hang around with Theo Von the last week. Get your dick sucked. Get your girl to suck your dick. Hang out with your kid. And literally go balls to the walls when you see McGregor. When you see McGregor, one of the strategies that worked amazing on McGregor is suffocation.
Leg kicks too, man.
Suffocation. And what I mean by suffocation, it could be
pressure, you mean?
Pressure, exactly.
Yeah.
You suffocate this guy because his cardio is something that he can't handle. He's never had really good cardio.
Yeah.
His best except for the Diaz fight where he didn't have to really drop weight.
Yeah.
Every other fucking fight when he had to drop weight, he was never successful past the 3rd round. Never.
Yeah.
And someone might pull some bullshit fucking 10 years ago shit where he pulled some fucking garbage in like a G League type of thing. But
back in the Irish leagues?
Yeah, back in the Irish leagues. But I honestly don't think that he's got it in him to go past the 3rd round when he is like getting suffocated. He's never good. What about Gilbert Burns, Stephen Thompson? I think Stephen Thompson is the back 9, and I think Gilbert Burns can come back to a title fight because I think so far against Kamaru, he's looked the best.
It'll be interesting to see how Burns adjusts to Stephen Thompson's like analytic way of fighting, if that makes sense.
What do you mean by that, analytic?
Thompson is a point fighter. He's a counter puncher, counter kicker, whatever, counter striker, but he's also a point fighter because that comes from his karate background.
But he doesn't have that much power, no?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
he's a point guy.
He'll point fight you. He'll also counter you though, because watch. He has knocked guys out. Like if you're stupid and if you start throwing some stupid ass punches, thinking that you're not gonna get caught, he will catch you and he can drop you.
The thing I think with Stephen Thompson is like he doesn't have the dominance when it comes to the mentality. A lot of these guys are actually equal level field, like playing field. They're on like a equal playing field as far as like skills. Now, not all of them, but I would say like in every weight class, the top 15 guys are literally percentages away from each other. No, but let me finish about this. They're percentages away from each other, and their mentality actually can win them fights.
Yes,
okay?
That's true. Yeah, I'll give you that.
So, I think Stephen Thompson has never had that mentality where I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. Sure. He's never kind of drowned in ego. He's a very when he talks, he's very non-egotistical. So it's like he's not gonna have that. Going back to what we used to talk about that. Winning mentality can suffocate you when these guys hit an age where they're past their prime, but they still have that mentality.
Yes.
That can ruin their fucking career.
Yeah.
And that's what he doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be good. If he loses, I think it's time to think about a couple money fights and retire. What do you think?
Interestingly enough, they both have the same amount of losses, but Thompson's later in his career. So I think...
Gilbert Burns, though, it's like I don't blame Burns for that loss.
I think it depends how these guys lose, actually. If Thompson loses by some kind of like flash KO, I could see him taking like I can see him like bouncing back and taking some more fights or whatever, not making any huge adjustments. But if he gets like outpointed and like outstruck by Burns,
like destroyed,
and like, not knockout, but like you said, just destroyed and like suffocated or whatever, I think he'd have to reevaluate a few things. Be like, okay, am I really in this game? Am I going to stay in this game long haul, or do I just like fuck off and start becoming like a fight commentator? For Burns, though, if he loses, I don't think there's any shame in losing to Thompson on points.
There is.
In points, no, because the other guy's one of the best.
In knockouts, yeah, but in points, maybe not. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'd say
if Burns
they're
gets
not
knocked
even on
out,
the same playing field,
then Jesus, like that's a problem, obviously, for Burns. But if Burns just gets outstruck, outpointed for a whole fight,
that's whatever.
That's kind of whatever. You almost expect that out of Thompson. So I'll be interesting to see though, because I want to see if Burns is just going to bring it to him, because that's actually when Thompson does his best, is when people just bring the fight to him, because he just kind of does the whole Lyoto Machida.
And Burns does take it to people. That's how fucking our boy Kimura got fucking dazzled. Going from real fights to fake fights. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. What the fuck do we think, bitch?
Baby, I can't wait to see this. You want to bet on that?
I got Woodley.
Should I do too, though? Give me a weird bet. Can't do that.
Okay, fine. Let's do a push-up bet. Okay? If you get less than 50 push-ups, you got to do it again until you get 50 push-ups.
Oh, consecutively?
Okay? Consecutively.
Okay, sure.
Okay? Because I tested mine yesterday.
You fuck.
Yeah. I got... You're not going to ever believe this. 11 minutes...
Mm-hmm.
How many push-ups do you think I did?
Just like, what do you mean? Like you didn't stop?
I never stopped. Like I stood and waited until I wasn't
11
tired.
minutes?
11
I
minutes.
already don't believe you. But, okay.
Okay, fuck that. 50 push-ups. This is the bet. 50 push-ups. I got Jake.
You got Jake?
I'll take Jake.
I'll take that.
I'll take Jake. Because I know if I give you Jake, you're going to fail that 50 push-ups 3 times. And I'm going to feel bad. But I'll take Jake, and I'll take 50 push-ups. And win or lose, I win. You know what I mean? Because fuck, you get gains from fucking doing push-ups, man. Fuck it. Do you think he actually has? I don't think Jake actually has a chance.
Of course he does. Why wouldn't he?
Jake has a chance against Tyron fucking Woodley.
Think about this.
Okay,
Woodley's definitely his biggest test.
Bro, it's not the same.
But what's not the same? Okay, hold on. I am one of the biggest Jake Paul haters you'll ever meet.
I don't care about that. I don't care about
you
that.
do, because you need to take that.
No,
then
I'm not considering this.
Yeah,
this
you need to, because you need that gives more weight to what I'm about to say.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I have never given Jake a chance for any of his fucking fights that he's gone into.
Mm-hmm.
I even had him losing against Nate Robinson, and obviously fucking knocked his old ass out. And then same thing with Ben Askren, and he knocked his awkward ass out too. one thing that Jake's been doing that can't be denied just because it's straight facts. He's had elite level boxing training now for 3 fucking years. Even if he's an unathletic fuck, even if he's, some fucking past, it doesn't matter. He has had exclusive elite level boxing training for 3 years.
Okay.
You can't sub in for that in the sense of like he went through this 3 years, so that you have to take that in consideration. Woodley is an elite level MMA athlete, still not in the prime of his life, but closer to his prime than to his not prime, because he's only what is he, 40, 41? He just got released from his contract at the UFC, so he's like.
That's
40.
why he took that fight.
No, and that's the only reason he's not allowed to take it if he's still under contract.
No, I'm saying that's why he took that last fight.
What do you mean?
Against who's that guy that knocked him out? We watched this fight.
I don't remember that guy, but yeah, I do remember him being knocked out.
Okay, anyway, that's why he took that fight. But let me tell you this.
But let me finish my point.
Go ahead.
Woodley is an elite level MMA.
I know this
athlete.
stuff. Yes, continue.
But he's not a boxer.
Okay.
He's athletic.
Okay.
He's got power.
Okay.
But he's not a boxer.
All right.
So definitely Jake has a chance.
Sure.
Does that say that Jake has a fucking 99% chance of winning? No.
No.
But I'm saying Jake does have a chance.
Who has more of a chance is my point.
I say Woodley, but I don't think it's like blown out. I don't think it's like a 90.
Let me tell you why it's
10%.
blown out, even though I'm going to be doing the push-ups.
Sure.
So, Woodley, what's Woodley's best offense?
Counter striker.
But what does he use?
Hands.
Okay.
Hands. Yeah,
Hands, right?
Yeah.
So, have you ever seen him do a high kick?
No.
Have you ever seen him do jiu-jitsu?
No, but I see him do wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, wrestling, that's not going to happen, right? And you could actually put up wrestling against the hands and say he uses hands more than wrestling.
Sure.
Dominantly.
Sure.
What's boxing? This is the thing. 3 years of training, yeah, dandy.
And I'm not saying
Dandy, hold on.
It's not local gym.
Okay,
it's not local gym, bro.
You've said your thing. I know. It's by the best guys. Okay? So 3 years of that.
Yeah.
Okay? Versus fucking 10 years of this. You can't compare. These are professional athletes. That's like
understand.
saying if I did fucking practice drills for the last 10 years, okay, am I going to be able to go against fucking European fucking professionals?
For what?
For basketball? No. Even though I've trained basketball professionally for 10 years, let's say, I can't go one-on-one against a professional basketball player. I have no chance. And this guy's a professional fucking fighter, man. Regardless if it's boxing or not, he uses his hands. Now, can he possibly get away with points? Yes, but I completely doubt it. First of all, the height to weight difference is ridiculous because of this reason. Jake is actually relatively smaller when it comes to height and weight. And this is why. Tyron walks around at $190 and he's 5'9".
He's taller than that, isn't he?
No, he's 5'9". Jake is 6 and he walks around at $190
I don't think Jake's. Well, how tall is his brother? Logan's taller,
Logan's
right?
6'2".
Yeah, okay.
But Logan walks around at Jake is 180, Logan's 190. But Tyron used to fight at 5'9", and he used to be 170, weigh 170 for like 10 minutes and then blow up back to fucking $190, 200 pounds. Like, he's not a small kid. So if we're going to generate, it's not Nate Robinson, just a black guy with good genetics. It's a fucking monster of a fucking champion. And he's pretty close to his prime, fighting a fucking 25-year-old kid that hasn't even gotten his man muscle yet. Doesn't have his bones that are actual like wider bones, like man bones. You know what I mean? Like, you ever notice that like your wrists and your dad wrists are completely different sizes? Fucking Jake still has our wrists, bro.
Yeah, sure.
He has tiny fucking wrists. You can't generate that kind of power.
Okay, well,
This is, you got to understand this.
Don't get distracted in your argument. You actually have some good points, but
But hold on.
That last one.
Hold on. This is my point. All the guys that he's fought have been actually smaller than him.
Yeah.
Relatively.
Yeah.
Okay. Tyron Woodley
think,
is actually bigger than him.
I think Askren's the same size as him, actually. As
Ben
unathletic.
Askren
Yeah,
is not... dude,
Yeah,
Ben
same size,
Askren...
same
Okay,
size.
fine.
Yeah.
But he's 15 pounds of fat.
No, that's what, as unathletic or whatever. They're the same weight, though. They're the same weight.
Anyway, I'm going to end up doing these 50 push-ups. I'll just admit I'm going to fucking
Listen,
lose,
I don't want him to fucking
Yeah.
win. Like I
Yeah.
said, I fucking hate Jake, and like,
Yeah.
and I've been shitting on him since the beginning of this whole fucking like I'm gonna be a fucking YouTube boxer. But I talked about it with a couple of friends, and there is some because I'm like okay, fine. We will have to consider the fact that he's been training for whatever how many years, and so I'm like, all right. Obviously, I fucking hope that Woodley knocks his lights out in like
I would
10
love
seconds.
that. I think the
we'll
world
see.
would. The world would fucking love that shit. And what the world also needs is less fucking pollution. Okay, one of the causes of pollution.
Collusion.
Collusion. I was gonna say collusion and pollution at the same time. Collusion or pollution is
Christ,
cow
methane.
farts.
Too much weed. Methane, bro.
Methane.
Fuck ton of methane.
Do you know anything about this?
I don't know about this.
Tell me a little bit, but keep it short and sweet, baby.
Methane's a naturally produced gas
Mhm.
from a byproduct of your digestion. Like when we fart, you're releasing methane into the air.
That's why I don't fart, bro. I care
Well,
about the environment.
Well, that explains a lot because then it releases methane into your brain.
That's right.
But what we release as humans is like minuscule. Like it's actually not that bad. Like you release like a fucking nasty one, like a silent one.
No, I just told you.
but
I
all of a
don't
sudden
fart.
like nukes the room. Like you see like your friends starting to like faint and shit. Yeah. That's still not nearly as bad as like a cow farting. Like if you ever go to a farm,
Bro, don't tell me about this, because my grandpa used to own a farm in Iran. I grew
cows
up on
or
a farm.
goats?
Cows, goats, sheep.
because do they have many goats cows in Iran?
How dare you?
No, I'm serious.
Why? Why do you think this?
Because every region has their own thing. Like for example, in Peru, Bolivia, they don't do cows. They do fucking llamas, alpacas. But in Uruguay, straight cows, nothing but cows. Argentina?
Are you saying there's no cows in fucking Peru?
No, they do. But like if you looked at their livestock and like what they're actually like
Oh,
exporting
okay,
producing,
I see. What they favorite and stuff like
exactly.
that.
So like Argentina,
Okay,
cows on cows.
Okay, so I'll tell you like this. Northern Iran is much more green than southern Iran. So
Right.
southern Iran tends to be more like Peru.
Yeah.
Where it's like things that like camels and shit like
Yeah, yeah.
that can actually thrive in that kind of environment.
Yeah.
But northern Iran actually gets like snow and
Fair
rain.
enough. Well, because the other thing too to consider with like cow, and this when I actually dig in this right, this actually goes into what we're talking about. But in order to actually be able to have cows, like a lot of them especially, you need a lot of fucking space, bro. Like you need a lot of like fucking space to be able to cultivate cows.
Shout out to farmers.
You can't just like have it in your backyard like goats and sheep and I'll say like for a cow needs its fucking space.
You know what they say, right?
What?
No farmers, no food.
Yeah, I see that. There's a demonstration every evening on 176 and 60th Ave if you ever want to check it out.
Never. I would never go to Surrey for fun. I only go there if
To
I
work.
have to go there.
Yeah, like Monday to fucking or Tuesday to Saturday.
Hey, don't spill my fucking beans to the world. How dare you, man?
Some of your bean spillers are watching this podcast now. Shout out to I forget what his name is, but he said hi.
Dr. Evil.
Yeah, no, not Dr. Evil. One of your boys.
Dean McGowan.
Well, no, one of your other one when I dropped off the thing. Buddy at your work, I told you about this. Was like, hey, recognize you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Johnny Sanchez.
Shout out to Johnny
Shout out
San-
to Johnny Sanchez.
Shout out to Johnny.
Johnny Sanchez. That's not his real last name, but I don't know
That's
if he's
okay.
comfortable with
That's
that.
okay.
But I'm gonna call him Johnny Sanchez. Johnny Sanchez is savage.
Solid
This guy
dude.
got into a fucking accident last week.
Yeah.
Dude, his trunk. He sent me a picture. His trunk
Smashed.
went into his back seat.
Jesus.
He had an $800 car because this guy likes to invest into houses with his fiance.
Yeah.
Smart kid, but savage. He's been off work for like a week.
Fuck.
Savage. So get well soon, buddy.
Okay, well soon. So yeah. Anyways, okay. So you know about cows.
Yeah.
Okay. When a cow farts, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like that will actually cause damage to you if you're nearby when it's farting. Not when it's doing its thing, but when
Is
it
this
actually
why
farts.
rednecks are so fucking rednecky?
Yes, 100%.
You heard it here first,
You
guys.
heard it here. But they will actually it'll actually cause the damage to you is how strong it is because they're actually releasing like a measurable amount of methane.
Have you have you seen this happen?
No,
So how are you saying this?
because this isn't something that's unknown.
But you think in like wide space like that, if they fart like within a 1 foot spot to
Oh
your
yeah, 1
face?
foot spot, you're fucked.
Really?
Yeah.
How bad?
I'm not saying you're gonna faint, but I'm saying like it's bad. Like you know how sometimes you ever smell something, like a fart that's so bad that you're like your eyes are starting to water.
No, dude.
You've never had that?
Nothing hurts me like this.
Shut the fuck up.
Not
man.
even breakups, bro.
This isn't the time to like appear strong.
No, it's not
Like-
a pure strong.
Yeah.
I'm so disgusting. Listen, I'm so disgusting that this stuff doesn't bother me. This is what I'm saying. It's like I grew up in a fucking shit town with shit clay houses. Like, of course, that's what I smell, right?
Because it's not the same. I live.
I don't know.
nearby-
I have to actually smell this.
Yeah,
happen.
you have to do
Yeah.
this because we're not talking that them shitting, them
Yeah.
farting, because it's two different things,
No, I get it.
right? Because
I
the
gotta
one thing is
smell it.
like cow manure when it blows over and you
Yeah.
smell it in the wind. That's one thing, which as bad as it smells. But when they fart, like it's rough.
How do these guys do it though? Like, how do these guys like be farmers for so long?
Well, they're not going to be right beside the cow when it farts, first of all. But what I'm saying is, what the point that I'm getting to is, when cows do that, the amount of methane they release is actually substantial. And when you consider how many cows there are in the world, it gets to be an actual problem on a global scale.
Now, do you think this is also, if we had to check, because we could, the percentage of factory pollution
Mm-hmm.
due to product?
Well, the thing is that it's different gases, right? Because factories, when people talk about, greenhouse gases, air pollution, that kind of stuff, generally speaking, man-made air pollution products are going to be generally CO2, not methane so much. I think the grand majority of methane pollution in the world is actually from cows, which is fucked when you think about it.
So if we go, whether we eat these cows or not, or we kill them or we don't, or we whatever, they're going to make this, right? Or are they just going to die off?
Well, the problem is because our fucking level of consumption of red meat.
I know that,
is
but
so
what I'm
high.
saying is, let's say that wasn't the factor and we could just completely delete that.
Yeah.
What do we do with all the cows? They just die off?
Oh, you're saying like now, if we're like,
Yeah.
all right, guys, fucking cow meat's banned from the stores for life.
Exactly.
Yeah, you'd have to wait. Yeah, basically, it'd be like one of the largest cleanups in the world. Obviously, you're talking about probably 1 billion cows out in the world.
I'd say more.
Take a long ass time. It's fun fact, in Uruguay they have more cows than people.
Shout out to Uruguay.
Shout
man.
out to
They're doing
Uruguay.
it right. They're doing it right.
Shout out
They
to
know what's
Uruguay.
going on. One more thing that's happening with pollution that's kind of linked to this
Sure.
is that the deforestation.
Mm.
Now, you would think that like people in charge of the world
Mm-hmm.
are thinking about, hey, unless, okay, this is going to go into conspiracy, but I'm not going to take that route. Unless they're thinking,
It's
we're
what
gonna,
fucking happens when
we're
you hit
gonna-
the weed, guys.
Hold on. Shut the
Christ.
fuck up. Listen, unless they're thinking they're going to go to another planet,
Mhm.
they have to save this planet.
Mhm.
Or they're thinking very short term as far as like a human lifespan.
Here's a conspiracy theory for you,
Why did you go down this route?
because you already mentioned it. It's kind of fun.
Oh, fuck.
As fucked as it is. Why are the two richest people in the entire world, investing all their money to get the fuck out of here? What does that tell you? You got Jeff Bezos
Yeah.
and Elon Musk both putting in a lot of fucking time and a lot of money, not to save this planet,
Yeah.
but to literally get the fuck out of here. If that doesn't tell you something,
I don't think that's going to happen in this lifespan. All right. I don't think it's going to be prominent as far as like it's an actual option. I think it's going to be something that us poor people are going to think about. We could possibly have that
it's not.
happen.
Yeah,
in-
well, I'm
in
not saying it's for
hundreds of-
us. It's not for the
hundreds
poor
of
people.
years.
It's for them.
No, I know, but I don't even think if I was in their shoes, my lifespan is going to get to an age where I'm going to actually have to get out of here. Like, we are so far away from
You
that.
don't know that.
You
literally don't know that.
unless like a meteor hits the earth or there's volcanic eruptions, I don't think that with this progress, we're going to get into an age in 50 years or so when we're like 80, 87, 88 years old where we actually have to like worry about this like a motherfucker. Now, can it happen in over 100, 200 years? Yeah, hell yeah. If all the water in the sea goes up and it starts, the
Yeah,
floods
dude, like
happen.
I said, you don't know. It could happen quicker than you think.
Maybe,
It really could.
maybe. This is the thing. Like, if you look at, because the Arctic has melted before, like in the past, and they have layers of this. They've shown this. Like, there's been many ice ages and floods, changing of the continents, but in like it's never been in like a 100-year span this thing has happened. It's like over thousands and millions of years where it happens.
You're missing one very important part to that.
We might be in the last section of that thousands of millions of years.
Not only that, but you're missing a very key point to that very elaborate sentence that you just said.
No humans.
No fucking humans, dude.
Yeah, I don't think
Come on, man.
I don't know.
It's true, yeah. We have had ice ages. We have had cataclysmic events happen in Earth history. We've had species get extinct. We've seen many changes in this. I mean, not we, because humans weren't alive, but this planet has seen many huge, drastic, catastrophic changes.
But hold on. If we're gonna go deep into conspiracy, we can also say, hey, motherfucker, we don't even know what was here 10 billion years ago.
What do you mean by what was here?
What was on Earth, how the universe was like. I mean, we have ideas, and there is like they are trying to recreate the Big Bang, but it's like
I wouldn't go that far. But let's stick to Earth.
There's limitations.
Let's stick to Earth.
There's limitations to how much we can dig up, how much we can see, things like that. There are limitations as far as like, you know, the news that we're getting right now when we look in space and get lights is like things that happen. Some of those planets.
Yeah, but that's it.
Common knowledge.
Don't get too straight. Let's stick to Earth.
We just don't know all the civilizations that lived here. So we can't even say, like, if there was like, you know, 16,000, 20,000 years ago, was there a civilization that was much more developed than us? We don't really
We can definitely, know. Okay. I dislike it when people talk about the whole, like, and I'm not saying you did this, but when people are like, oh, but you weren't there, so you can't actually verify that it happened. That is such a, and I've actually mentioned this before on a podcast, like that's just such a dangerous, like, route of logic to go down, because it basically allows you to dismiss anything that's said, because you can just say, well, unless you were there, you can't tell me that it happened. Scientific method and process allows you to reach conclusions without having 100% certainty of things. That's
True.
what allows us to advance in our thinking and what we.
But
what
we don't know, like, when
do.
the continents were moving and they changed. That was such a long time ago that we actually don't even know if there was people back then or not.
We can almost guarantee that we weren't there. If you say that within the last, and I'm literally making up numbers here, so don't fact check anything right now. I'm making a point. If you say that human, and I'll make the numbers smaller for more simplicity, humans have only gone far back as we found them, right? So like any traces, whether it's fossils, remains of buildings, art, so like drawing anything, any kind of like what we consider to be signs of human presence, if that only goes as far back as 1,000 years, let's say, and we can measure, as far as we know, that the Earth goes 1 million years, you can maybe say your margin of error is like, okay, maybe humans can go back 1,500 years, 2,000, maybe even 10,000 years. Maybe we're 10 times off of how we measured.
Okay.
Scientists will never say there's no fucking way. That's just not how they talk. But they'll be like, we are within like 98% certain that humans have never even touched the 500,000 year mark. There's just no way, based on what we've seen and what we can extrapolate based on what we know. And you can't just come in and say, oh yeah, but just because you like, oh, so that doesn't mean that we can't discount the theory that because that's just like you're just saying things, right? So we have to trust that we know things based on how these guys can figure out their logic and what they actually present to us.
True, but do you think that we are, you know, perfected as far as looking back in history, as far as like the technology wise?
Pretty fucking good.
And what are you basing this on? Like, what do you, because, you know, I guarantee I could find a guy 50 years ago that was saying the same thing as you are and believe the exact same thing you are. What are you basing this on? That
yes,
we're
but
just
then
further in future? Or?
Sure, yeah, but then you're fine 50 years ago. But since then, we've made huge strides. Whatever.
Okay.
Scientific advancements, discoveries, they're not like blowing things out of the water, especially when it comes to history.
But
it's
these
not,
are very like guessing. You're guessing these things as
no,
well.
no one's guessing shit. No one's guessing
You're
shit.
You're saying
no
that
one is guessing shit.
Okay, hold on.
No one is guessing anything.
No, this
don't
is what
say
you're
that.
saying.
Don't say that, because that's not true.
You're saying that they're not blowing things out of the water. Okay. When did we go to the moon?
I'll give you an example. No, I'll give you a better.
Let me just ask you this question. When did we go to the moon?
66 or whatever the fuck it was.
Okay. So now we've surpassed that, and we have private guys that are trying to go to the moon.
Yes.
And they probably can be successful in our lifetime. So, yeah, 100%. But are these things that we thought were going to happen, or are these things that just came out of the blue? You know what I mean? Like, there's certain things, like, did we think that we're going to be on a cell phone 40 years ago all the time? No, we didn't. We had no idea. Or did we think, like, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things that we did not foresee. Now, if you did go to the moon, fucking 67, yeah, of course, 2020, you probably can go to the moon too, given that perspective. But there's no actual, like, set rate of increase where you can be like, hey, we've surpassed our actual ability 90% into technology. So now that we can say, if that's the case, then the amount of things we know from the past and the technology that we have from the past is sufficient enough that we're going to say there was nothing in the past, is my point. It's like, we don't know the future. What you're saying is, like, you're saying that the future, this is pretty much the technology that we have that's enough to read the past. So therefore we should believe what they think is 100%. I believe, yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm going to believe a scientist's word 80 to 85%, but there is still that 15% back of my mind. I'm like, hey, is there some shit that we haven't discovered, that we lost in time and ice ages and, you know, continental divide, stuff like this, that was a possibility? Maybe. The other day I was looking at an ape that was so fucking big, it could be Bigfoot. Like, that could be the story of Bigfoot. This thing was like fucking 10 feet tall. Like,
fucking hate that we smoked this much weed. The last 2 minutes, I'm like, for fuck's sake. Oh my God, God damn it.
This is why I said, let's not go into conspiracies.
Well, it's, you
this
fucking
gets dark.
You smoke the weed, you bring up conspiracies, and then you're surprised that we get into this.
Damn it.
Whatever, it's okay. We probably gained and lost a few followers.
It's all good. Shall we wrap it up?
Yeah, sure. On that note,
let's wrap it up. Let me get you one thing that, because you're balls deep into FIFA, I want to just talk about this. So apparently 1,000 people, they've done a research, 1,000 people have died that were basically immigrants.
More.
Hold on. Let's just say just about over 6,000 people. Yeah. But that's what they've done. Oh, that's what that is. Fuck. Jesus Christ. 6,500 people have died.
Yeah, intro us to this. I actually know quite a bit about this because it's happened a long time ago.
This is really interesting. So I'm not going to really talk much because this is, I think you know more about this than I do. So fuck it. So just take over, man. Tell me what you know.
Okay, so Qatar has been awarded the FIFA World Cup for 2022. And I think they get awarded that something like 10 years ago. So it's been happening for a while now. The other thing is that they have to build a lot of their facilities, like a fuck ton, because it's Qatar. They have soccer, but they don't have it to the level that they should for a World Cup, to have the amount of stadiums that they need and all the infrastructure.
Yeah.
With that in mind, you have to understand that Qatar is not a country that is producing a lot of workers, construction workers and things like that. So they have had to get migrant workers. They've had to literally import workers to help them build the stadiums, the towers, the hotels, everything they need done. They've had to bring people from, like, and we're not talking like, oh, we're going to bring some Americans to help us out. No, we're talking like Bangladeshis, Malaysians, Indonesians. We're talking like poor Southeast Asians that they're bringing on. Maybe some Indian workers, poor Chinese. They're bringing on the poorest workers that they can find, bringing them to Qatar, allowing them to work, giving them visas to say, okay, you're good to work here. But then they are fucking them so hard.
In the ass, huh?
No rights. No health care, minimal food, basically no pay. It's basically modern day slavery that they've done.
See, when I hear like when I hear white chicks being like, okay, all due respect, white women, whatever, all powerful, whatever the fuck, just woman period, or anybody that's like, you know, not woke and be like, hey, I want to take a vacation in the Middle East. Good fucking luck, kid. Good fucking luck, okay? You're going to get stabbed, and like 12 Arabs are going to come with their turbans and fuck you in the ass and shank your ass open. They're going to send your fucking shit back to fucking East Van and some shit, some tattoo parlor. Listen, man, it's a dangerous fucking place. Like, these guys don't fuck around. They'll kill you. They'll drop you somewhere in the desert. Don't give a fuck. They don't think twice about it. Continue.
Thank you, because it's true. This is what they've done to these migrant workers is basically put them in almost unlivable conditions, and they basically said, okay, work for our fucking, build my stadium, build my towers, build my hotels. I'll pay you basically just enough for you to literally survive. I'm not gonna give you a good board, a good whatever. Build my shit or fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, going back to that, man, like, yeah, these guys they're slave owners. That's what they are.
They're modern slave owners.
No, not even modern. They're like slave owners.
No, but I mean, I say modern because like it's happening now.
Yeah, but these guys, like, to the extent like they whip and shit. Like, this is no joke, bro. This is not like.
And what's crazy is that the amount of people that have died, those are only the reported cases.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are lost.
That's just 6,500 reported. They could be thousands more that we don't know about.
And this is not like, we're not talking about like adults that are documented and stuff.
Yeah.
These guys are getting money under the table.
Yep.
They're fucking, sometimes they're like 12, 15 years old. They're kids. Like, they're just workers. They have nothing else.
And no one is saying anything. Like, Qatar was awarded the World Cup, and then everyone's like, all right, well, fuck it, it's all good. Like, no one's gonna fucking question anything. People are talking about, guys, people are dying here, but no one's like, it's fine, it's all good.
I like that these countries are having it, because there's gonna be a certain point where we're going to come across the same ideas over and over and over again, and somehow I still believe, I'm an optimistic believer, that eventually we're going to get to a spot where we don't agree with this and we will revolt.
Yeah.
I hope.
I hope so too.
I hope. But just seeing it over and over again, it's like, you know, it does start with each of us, but it's like at some point we actually have to like realize like there is better things to think about and more effective things to revolt against than just like, you know, how someone calls me Mr. or Mrs. There's people dying of like
literally dying.
Slavery and getting shot, and mothers are getting raped in front of their sons and shit. And we're over here thinking about like, oh, they didn't include the right fucking proper name in, you know, the email, you know? So fuck, man. Bring me home, Hector. Bring me fucking home, man. Bring me home. Give me some good fucking vibes.
Good vibes? Well, it's good hearing from my boy, Dr. Evil. Hope to have him again soon. Some more insights. Hope you guys learned a bit here. We got big things coming soon.
Dr. Evil, man, that guy's the evilest villain I've known. I've known this kid so long, and he's changed so much, but he's solid. He is solid. And you know what else needs to be solid?
What?
Your fucking cock in your fucking pants, man. Today, you need to wake up after this podcast, have a hard clit, hard cock, and just think about life and be like, whatever I want, I'm gonna fucking do it, man. And with that note, I just want to give a shout out to Stem's Chocolate Company. They are a very professional, great company that makes chocolates that have psilocybin in them to be microdosed. This does help with PTSD, ADHD, and all that stuff. So if that sounds like something that you need help with, check them out. Stem Chocolates on Instagram, stemchocolates.com. Follow us, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Funny But Foul Podcast on Instagram, and Funny But Foul everywhere else. Thank ya. Kiss your mama, and just enjoy your days. We're out.